Welcome back to TechKidFX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Fantom, whose current price stands at the $0.2305 mark, and here on TradingView the market is down by 0.09%. and in this video I want to give you the short-term and the long-term scenarios that I expect to play out, basing my analysis on the editorial structures and the Fibonacci's. And allow me to kickstart the video here on the daily chart by giving you a brief of what has been happening here on the Fantom chart. So Fantom, from these low prices that we had been trading within, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, making it to an all-time high at around the $3.5 mark in a movement that I'm terming as a higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side. And after seeing the all-time high, we have been seeing lower prices in this massive ABC corrective structure, which has now taken us back to around the $0.16 mark in a movement that I'm terming as a higher Elliot wave count 2. And after seeing the low for that higher Elliot wave count 2, whatever we expect next is a bounce to the upper side in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 3 before we see a wave 4, then continue pushing even higher in the formation of that wave 5 to the upper side, and giving you a measure from the all-time high. From the all-time high, Fantom is down more than 90%, and that means there are chances that we might have seen the low for this higher Elliot wave count 2, and very soon I'm expecting a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 3 to the upper side, and giving you a target area to the upper side in the formation of that wave 3 using a trend-based Fibonacci, connecting it from the low of the first wave to the high of that wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the second wave, which I believe is at around the $0.16 mark. There are chances that Fantom in the next bull market we make it back to around the $5.8 mark, and that perfectly lies at the fib level 1.618, and that is my minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of that wave 3 in the next bull market once we see the low for that higher Elliot wave count 2. And that is my long-term scenario that I'm expecting to play out here on the Fantom chart. And jumping to the 1 hour chart to give you the short-term scenarios, and I think this is where the chart is getting a little bit interesting. Here on the 1 hour chart, you can see before we made our low, we had been trading within this channel, and after making our low, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, which was obeying the Elliot wave structures. And if I have my Elliot wave structure on this chart, we can have these as the first wave to the upper side. Then we saw this ABC corrective structure over here in the formation of a second wave. Then saw a very nice impulsive movement to the upper side in the formation of a wave 3. Then right now, I'm expecting a bit of a retracement to the lower side in the formation of a fourth wave before we see another bounce to the upper side in the formation of that wave 5 to complete a higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side. And getting a little bit into the details of the formation of this Elliot wave structure that I have here on the 1 hour chart, so that it can also give us the short-term scenarios that I expect to play out, using the trend-based Fibonacci, connecting it from the low of the first wave down there to the high of the wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the second wave. That gives me a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of a wave 3 at the fib level 1.618, which is a target area that we fully maximized. And after maximizing it, we continued pushing even higher and made it to the fib level 2.618, and that is where we made our high for that wave 3, and that means we have an extended wave 3 to the upper side. And after seeing the high for that wave 3, whatever we expect next is a corrective structure over here in the formation of a wave 4, so that we can see another bounce to the upper side in the formation of a wave 5, and that gives me my short-term scenario that I'm expecting to play out here on the Fantom chart. I believe we are in a retracement in the formation of this fourth wave, and using the Fibonacci's, I can sketch out a minimum target area to the lower side in the formation of that wave 4 by connecting the Fibonacci's from the low of the second wave to the high of that wave 3, and that gives me a minimum retracement area in the formation of a wave 4 between the fib level 0.5 and the fib level 0.618, and I can mark that target area. That is between the $0.2199 mark, that is close to 0.22, and the $0.21 mark, and that is the minimum that I'm expecting that fourth wave to do. And because a fourth wave is a corrective wave, I also expect to see an ABC corrective structure, and over here I'll be expecting that as my wave A, then this might be my wave B, then the wave C is what should fully maximize this target area that I have sketched out here using the Fibonacci's. And once you see the low for that wave C, then that will be completing the formation of that wave 4. And we also have a chart pattern that is in formation right here that is supporting this retracement to the lower side in the formation of a fourth wave. And if I have it here on the charts, we can have this impulsive movement to the upper side, making the first top because the chart pattern is a triple top. Then we saw the formation of the neckline, then we saw the formation of the second top, another retracement forming another neckline, then we have seen the third top making a triple top, and now I'm expecting a breakout to the lower side, which might fully maximize the formation of that fourth wave, because this is a chart pattern that normally breaks to the lower side, having the minimum target area of the breakout as the height between the tops and the neckline. So using a trend line over here, we can get that height, then place it below the neckline, and that gives me a minimum target area back to around the $0.2125 mark, which perfectly lies within this target area that I have sketched out over here. That means in case we see a breakout out of this chart pattern, there are chances of fully maximizing the formation of that wave 4 and also the wave C. Then expect a bounce to the upper side in the formation of that wave 5. And also using the ABC corrective structure and the trend based Fibonacci, we can still sketch out a minimum target area to the lower side in the formation of this wave 4 by connecting the trend based Fibonacci from the high of that wave A to the low of the wave A, then dragging the fibs to the low of the wave B, and that gives me a minimum target area at the fib level 1.618, and that is at around the $0.2192 mark, which is perfectly within this target area that I have sketched out using the Fibonacci's. So in case Fantom continues to obey the Elliot wave structures and also this ABC corrective structure over here, there are chances of fully maximizing the formation of that wave 4 before we see another bounce to the upper side in the formation of that wave 5 to complete a high Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side. Also taking a look at the indicators here on the RSI, we are trading at around the 40 mark, meaning we have massive room for us to support any movements to the upper side. Also any movements to the lower side will still be supported before we get into the oversold region. Also taking a look at the MACD, here on the MACD we have printed a bullish cross, and that would mean higher prices are coming our way, but my primary scenario still remains that we must fully maximize the formation of that wave 4 before we can see another bounce to the upper side in the formation of that wave 5. And that's the update for Fantom.